today was a rotation day out of tech and into energy, as well as another important sector of the market that's very telling in terms of where risk appetite is right now. So I'll break that down in today's market outlook preview. Powell was Powell's comments. Powell's back in the news after the FOMC meeting last week, talking about what's driving their decisions right now. So we'll break down kind of what our expectations are for how these these different markets are impacting equities, and then we'll take a look at the market forecast and see what we should expect here in the short term and the intermediate term from the S&P 500. So let's get started. Today is Tuesday, September the 23rd, 2025. This is the market outlook from MarketScholars.com. My name is David Settle. Let's start off taking a look at the S&P 500. As you can see, the big news today was Powell's comments, right? Powell came out with his first public remarks in Rhode Island, I believe, and talked about essentially that there's no risk-free direction right now for the Fed. The Fed's unemployment is an issue, and it's rising, and inflation is an issue, and it's rising. So they've really got no path that they can do and avoid risks on the other side. They can not cut rates fast enough and have an issue with unemployment. They can cut rates. They can cut rates too much, and inflation will which they view as transitory still, which is ironic, right? That's like we've had this issue before where you thought inflation was transitory, and it happened to be transitory. It just happened to last a lot longer than what they thought. And so, but he came out today and basically said that we kind of have to watch what we do, and so essentially we're going to cut, but we're probably not going to cut very much. And so the market kind of took that as, okay, well, it's, we're going to get a cut in October, and rate cut odds rose, but we're not going to cut very much after that. And so the market had a little bit of a decline after that there, and you can see that bringing a little bit of short-term sentiment into the market forecast. You can see from a sector rotation standpoint today, again, technology and all these sectors, cyclical sectors, have just been absolutely dominating off of that low point. But today it was all about energy, right? Crude oil rallied. Some news out of Kurdistan or somewhere over there about pipeline restarting, being delayed, and so crude oil rallied up a couple percent. So energy stocks, but you notice outside of the energy, all the other sectors that were positive on the day were all safety sectors, real estate and staples and utilities and healthcare. On the other end of the spectrum, technology and discretionary. Nvidia weighing on the markets, Amazon weighing on the markets. So those two sectors, which are, again, as you saw, the sectors that have been doing the best here lately, really weighing on the markets. And you're seeing a little bit of in fact, if you look at the Amazon chart on the Mag 7, you see a little bit of a breakdown here. We got light pink shading and a red line, and Nvidia also with a little bit of a harami pattern after a little. Like remember, in yesterday's market outlook, I talked about this kind of maybe a blow off top in tech, with Apple going parabolic there in the short term and a big move higher in Nvidia, and it appears that in Tesla you can see it's kind of gone parabolic, and Google has gone a little parabolic. So we might be hitting our peaks in these names and starting to see some pushback. So I detail in today's full market outlook video kind of what my expectations are for the rest of this week, as well as going into next week and beyond in terms of what the market's going to look like. If we do get a decline, what will it look like? With a couple examples from the recent past that has very similar profiles to what we would get right now. If we take a look at the intermarket relationships and how they perform today, here let's pull up that chart and just go down to September. Breadth actually looked a little bit better. Number of new highs went up. Number of stocks with a 50-day moving average went up. Commodities rallied, of course, with the strength in crude oil. Bonds rallied, which means yields were down. Gold, so this semi-safety trade, the dollar was down. That was the only thing that wasn't up, right, from a safety standpoint. Hard assets, real estate, gold, commodities, all paper assets, all struggling, and the Q struggling right now more than but again, just a day, right? Just a single day there. So that's kind of the idea. And like I said, from a breadth standpoint, things looked a little bit better in terms of here. Let's pull up the number of new highs. jumping up above 200. The net new highs and lows still very, very strong above 500. The trend, which measures the relationship between two ratios, the advanced decline and then the advancing volume and declining volume. So the advanced decline was a little bit negative, just barely a little bit negative there, but the volume was clearly positive on advancing, and that's why your trend dropped way down there. And you can see that can be a relatively bullish sign when you have the trend dropping like that. So obviously, today's not the start of of us falling off a cliff, and there's some good signs of what we can gather some expectations of what we think the market should do over the next couple of days based off some patterns that we talk about in a lot more detail. And I also talk about the rotation in a lot more detail in tonight's full market outlook video. Again, you can get access to that right up there. Click on that link. That actually takes you to our market outlook blog post. Everybody gets access to that. All you need is a free account at Market Scholars, our free basic account. So again, that link takes you to that. You get a bunch of details, basically kind of what I talk about in the video, but in written form on the blog post. And again, this link will take you to the foundation tier subscription, where you get access for just $29 a month to all of our full market outlook videos every day, all the recordings, all the trade ideas, the market outlook live, where we put the trades on in real time and then manage them in real time, and then the market outlook live trade tracker, where we track the results of all of our market outlook trades. So you get all of that for just $29 a month by following that link I showed you and subscribing for our foundation tier. So there's our preview for today. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get these videos every day. Like the video today. That really helps us get it out to all of our followers. Comment on anything that stood out to you today. Share the video with anybody else so they can get to know us a little bit there. Follow me on Twitter for more content between the videos at DavidSettle42. You can also follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on Facebook as well, and see and like our content there. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night, everybody, and we'll see you all tomorrow.